Hi, UAA community. Chancellor Sean Parnell here with What's Next for Student Affairs. We're so excited to welcome Deanne Woodard as our new Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs, and we want to take a few minutes today and get to know Deanne. She's certainly no stranger to many at UAA, but let's ask her a few personal questions and some professional questions as well. So let's get to it. Thanks. Well, Deanne, welcome. Good to be with you as the new Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs. And what I wanted to accomplish in this interview is just for more of the UAA community to get to know you as a person and then also as the new Vice Chancellor. So could you speak a little bit, tell us about your childhood. Tell us, what was growing up like for Deanne?
Awesome. Yeah. Well, I grew up in Florida, in Central Florida, in a little town called Bartow, Florida. It's nestled between Tampa and Orlando. And I had a wonderful, wonderful childhood. I'm fortunate I was adopted, and I spent a little bit of time in foster care. So when the family that adopted me took me in, it was as if I was born to them. And they adored me. I had one older sister. She was 7 years older than me, and we are still close to this day. And, growing up around orange trees everywhere, lemon trees in our yard, it was a paradise for me, and very supportive. Both my parents are educators, and that's the environment I came up in.
So tell me a little bit about what's your earliest memory?
I think my earliest memory, as I recall, was I was about 4 or 5 years old, and I remember my mom and dad sitting me down to tell me that I was adopted. And looking back, I would say, I wonder why they thought it was important for me to know, but I was going to be going to public school, and folks in the community would know, and they wanted me prepared, and they wanted me to understand that not only did they love me, which was why they adopted me, but also my biological parents had to have adored me because they wanted me to have the best life that I could have, and they felt by giving me up for adoption, I would have the best opportunity to have a life that I could excel in. And so that's the earliest memory I have. And I learned to love both my adopted parents and my biological parents equally.
Well, thank you. That's I know that's especially important, not just for you, but for many of our viewers today too, to hear that part of your life story. So speaking to that, you can just pick one person and tell us about somebody who has a significant influence in your life, who positively influenced you and helped make you who you are today.
Yeah. I wish I could say pick just one, but I picked my mom and dad who adopted me jointly because, as I mentioned, they were educators. My mom taught school for 42 years. My dad taught for 15 and then moved into administration at the school board office. And they instilled in me, as well as in my sister, a love of education, a love of learning, and not just for the short term, but for lifelong learning. And it was through their guidance and their inspiration that has really driven me to serve in not only as a former high school English teacher, but then moving into higher education and commit my life to just serving and opening doors and providing access for higher levels of education, even beyond high school.
So let's transition to UAA.
Sure.
And your work here. In choosing both you and Ryan Buckhold as the new Vice Chancellor for Administrative Services, you both are being promoted from within. So just demonstrating that there are career paths here at UAA. But so for those in the UAA community who are not familiar with the work that you've been doing here, you have a history replete with student affairs work and academic affairs work. But can you speak to your most recent work here at UAA?
Yeah, sure. So in my previous role before coming into this position, I served as the Associate Vice Provost for Targeted Programs and Populations. I originally came on to UAA as an Associate Dean within the Community and Technical College. So in both of those positions, I've had the pleasure of working with the UAA Testing Center, the Learning Commons, our military and veterans student services folks, overseeing operations on the base here at JBER. and as well as a lot of work with dual enrollment in this current most recent position that I'm coming from. And it has just been an absolute joy because I've been able to do a lot of student affairs type work within the academic affairs. And for me, it's important for folks to really understand how closely connected both areas are. We overlap, we hold hands, we work together on everything that we do with the ultimate goal of serving students and ensuring that their experience is the best that they can have and that they are successful. So, this transition is very natural for me. As you mentioned, my past has been both sides of the fence and working in both student affairs and academic affairs. So this is a wonderful opportunity for me to support our student affairs community and just continue to engage with them and build upon the great work they're already doing.
So you kind of touched on this in that answer, but how do you see yourself approaching your role, your new role in student affairs at UAA?
Yeah. For me, it's just building upon what's already being done. I think that we are doing an excellent job in so many areas. And, my general belief is that we all have room for growth and we all have room for improvement. And so for me, it's important to understand what's already being done and how we can just make it even better and continue to serve our students, putting them first. And I think that's the key to everything that we do here at UAA is ensuring that we keep students at the center of everything we do. And that's what I see our role, my role, and our role in student affairs is just to keep providing the best service that we can provide to our students.
So you've spoken to one of those aspirations, our number one aspiration at UAA 2025 of putting students first. Speak a bit about how your role at Student Affairs and how Student Affairs place at UAA fosters or actualizes other aspirations or another aspiration under UAA 2025.
Absolutely. And as I think about that, two of the aspirations jump out to me, and they, again, most of these work hand in hand, so they go together in everything that we do. But I think about embracing diversity and inclusion, creating that sense of belonging for every student at this institution, particularly those in marginalized groups. We have such a large percentage of our students who are ethnic minority or Alaska Native, and we want to continue to build on the great work that's already being done around diversity and inclusion to ensure that when students set foot on this campus or they enroll in classes and online programs, wherever their entry point is and their connection to the university, that they have a wonderful experience and they feel like they do belong, that this university is not just a brick and mortar space, but a place that they can call a second home and really feel connected to the university. And that sense rolls over into our community partners and building and engaging our community and making sure that we are serving their needs, we have the capacity to serve their needs, and that we care about those partnerships and those relationships.
So can you speak to, given your experience here, can you speak to a specific example, of a win in that area for a particular student, even if that comes to mind?
Yeah. So immediately I think about our TRIO students that we serve on a regular basis. We have students who both in the pre-college realm, early college, the ones that are in the summer Upward Bound programs and our educational talent search programs where our advisors are out in the high schools working with students, touching lives, inspiring them, getting them connected with UAA and the many, many programs and faculty and staff that serve that program and support that program. It happens every single day, all year long, and in the summer as well. And I think that's really important to note. And then our TRIO program, SSS, which is our student support services, they are working with our students right here that are currently UAA enrolled students. And one student in particular has had an amazing story. She was a former SSS student, came through the program, was able to connect with resources both on campus and in the community, and now she is a current SSS advisor within the program. And that's what we want. We want homegrown. We want to take care of our students, and we want to inspire them to stay here, whether it's UAA or in Alaska, but give back to the roots that help form you.
That's great.
Yeah.
So think about now. Let's take it directly to your colleagues, your new colleagues at Student Affairs now, and those day-to-day interactions. What do you value in those day-to-day interactions, and kind of the corresponding side of that is what can Student Affairs employees expect from you in terms of those values and those interactions when you're working side by side with them and leading and providing direction as well. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. Well, for me, I think one of the biggest keys is open and transparent communication. That's both ways. I think communication is not one-sided. It has to go both ways. And they can expect from me that my door is an open door policy. I know it sounds cliche, but it's very much how I interact with everyone I work with, whether it's folks that I report to or folks who report to me. If we don't have clear communication, then we're going to have breakdowns all over the place. So that's number one. That's number one. Number two, I think I consider myself to be firm but fair. So I understand what's needed, and through that communication, and then I also want to understand what someone else is expecting. So in that process, then we can talk through and make sure everyone can get their needs met, and we can accomplish the things that we have to accomplish for our roles, our jobs, our students here at UAA. And additionally, on a day-to-day basis, I'm a smiler. I tend to be a hugger. I know COVID has kind of changed that a little bit. We've had to back off of that a little bit. But I just believe in coming in the door with a positive attitude. A phrase that I've used many, many times is positive mental attitude. I tell myself that when I wake up in the morning, that today is going to be a great day. No matter what happens, it's going to be a great day, because we have a choice in how we react to the things that happen around us. We may not be able to control those things, but we can control how we respond to them. So for me, being positive, having a positive attitude, and the find a way mentality, kind of like this: if we can't do it this way, let's find another way, and we'll get it done.
That's wonderful. In fact, our cabinet, as we first gathered last summer when I first became chancellor, we began by stating those principles or rules we wanted to live by in terms of those interactions. And one of those rules was we presume positive intent. When somebody says something, we don't immediately jump to assume that they presume that they're acting maliciously or speaking maliciously or that they're speaking offensively. We really want to presume positive intent and then understand better what's being said. And you've just really spoken to that value too, that in the way that the attitude that you bring to work and to the office. So that's awesome. I guess I just wanted to just end the interview just by saying thank you. It's a very time-consuming process, and you put yourself out there through the search committee. You were named as one of the finalists, and then I've had the honor of selecting you for this role, and just want to welcome you and just say looking forward to working with you. And I know that your heart is all about the students, and it's all about showing Alaskans and people beyond Alaska the opportunities that are here and being a part of this great university. So welcome and thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm humbled and honored to serve, so I'm looking forward to it.
Super. Thanks.
Thank you.